guys. Having an oh so epic day. Actually, the last 3 days have just been phenomenal for the most part. Just success story after success story. I've yet to be discriminated on since learning my rights. I've had the, occasional angry leftist not understand where I'm coming from and cut me off and be rude, but it's very few and far between. And as far as managers are concerned, I think in the last 3 days I've had to ask for a total of 3 managers. Granted, I go to the store a lot. I like to buy things as I eat them or consume them. Mia, come here. I don't like to shop big amounts at a time, so I've been, probably 10 or 12 interactions at stores since learning my rights, and it's just been so good to know your rights and then be able to actually protect them. Even though, spiritually it's very tough for me to see people, especially children, in these demonic masks. It's definitely a big weight off to just know that you're not part of that problem and that you're not causing other people spiritual harm as they have to see you walk by in a mask, which basically says that we human beings are the problem, germs are the problem. Just spread lies, spread the satanic truth that, or quote unquote truth that they want us to all to believe. But oh my goodness, guys, look at this. I've been walking around for now probably 45 minutes, including Keek's long walk. But she had so much energy here and everything's just perfect for her. There's no little bumps. Everything's super flat, whether she's on the grass or on the concrete. And look at my feet, guys. I've been barefoot this whole time. You wouldn't know it though. I don't know if that angle can show it, but my feet are pretty much that clean after a shower or bath when I've scrubbed them. There's not a speck of dirt in this entire park except for right under these trees right here. You liking it, Mia? She's doing something weird, but Mia, let's go. Come on. And it's just so crazy to me that this even exists. I grew up playing select soccer until 16 when the first person decided to slam into me in my car and I had to get brain surgery and got knocked off my dreams of making that my life's work. But all right, our career, I guess you could say. That's the only career I ever wanted as a kid, was to play professional sports. But I had other plans in mind, apparently, according to some higher powers. Mia, come here. Mia. Even though it's very, very, the least stress I've ever had on a dog walk right now with Mia, because for those of you who don't know, Mia is a very, very sweet girl when it comes to dealing with people. She's aloof kind of, but never angry at them or anything like that. Children, she's not the best around. Little kids that are kind of on her level, she just doesn't understand them and growls sometimes, but she would never do anything harmful to a person. She's never lunged or anything like that. Just kind of a defensive growl, what's going on. If it's a little kid, especially little kids in big dresses, that's makes her the most confused. But she is not very good with people. She is not very good with dogs at all, and that's a Shiba trait. I got her at 6 months as a rescue, not at 8 weeks like you should if you're gonna get a Shiba. The Shibas, you really got to train them out of their DNA. Mia, come here. Mia, come here. Because their DNA is that of an independent hunter, and so they look at all dogs as competition. And so the only time that they want to be around a dog, Mia, come here. Mia, no. See, it's in Santa Cruz, I cannot get her to go into a bathroom. She was just about to go into that bathroom just because I'm not gonna, but I could probably walk in there barefoot and it would probably be zero issues. This whole place is just it's mind-boggling. I just can't believe that something this epic exists and nobody told me about it. I played traveling soccer, like I was starting to say. We traveled out of state. We went all over the place. Never even heard about this spot. There's 20 soccer fields here. There's 4 or 5 softball fields and baseball fields. There's about the same amount of basketball fields. There's happy kids, mask-free, running around everywhere. There's kids over there on the basketball court bumping jams and skating. This is paradise. nobody told me Orange County was so freaking epic. I had been here one time prior, but obviously not to the right spots. It's just unreal right now. And this is just something that I found by typing into Google Maps park. And it just so happened that the grocery store I was at, where I got this, was like 3 miles from this place. So just unreal. Like, I'm literally speechless. I cannot believe at all. You gonna take a little break? Mia has a hard time in the sun because she's, you know, nice and dark, aren't you, Mia? Ooh, you can rest, But yeah, it's just out of control epic here, guys. Like, so epic. I have my small business meetup with Peggy Hall this evening at it's like 5 miles from here, so I'm just gonna be chilling. Haven't really eaten all day. I've eaten just strawberries, and I'm not really hungry. I've had a family friend or close acquaintance. I don't really want to say who it is. It's going through some health troubles right now, and so I was just trying to print them out some holistic information, and so I decided to pick At the Appetite Cure by Mark Twain. And for those of you who don't know about At the Appetite Cure by Mark Twain, it is epic. It's like 15 pages, I want to say, maybe 16 pages, and just unreal information that just we all should have been taught in school. Instead, they taught us like Huckleberry Finn and some other bullshit that, you know, not knocking those books. They're decent fiction books, but I just don't think that fiction has much of a place in school, especially when we graduate children from school and then college just like dumber than they started. Just a bunch of lies we feed them. And anyways, it's just crazy to me how little substance there is in our educational process. But Mark Twain, At the Appetite Cure, if you guys haven't checked it out, I highly recommend it. It's basically about health resorts in Austria and how they all kind of use similar methods to heal. There are I guess back in the day, Austria used to just be a nation of health resorts, and different counties had different treatments for different ailments. So back in the day, people, if they were having some sort of issue, they would go to whatever specific resort, stay there until they were feeling better, and then get back to their lives. And so Mark Twain was all about, I think he would go to health resorts sometimes, but he also just would fast by himself at his house often. And basically, the reason why you do that is because lots of times when we eat and get hungry, we're not really hungry. It's our parasites inside of us that are hungry, which, yes, get over that mental hurdle. We do have plenty of parasites inside of us. And the average person does, at least, until you do a bunch of liver flushes. And I felt like I was fairly parasite free at one point. I did 10 to 12 liver flushes, I can't remember, over a like year and a half period, while healing from a number of injuries that were inflicted upon me by terrible drivers. Don't be one of those people. But yeah, I understand fully what he's talking about, but it's good to read it every once in a while and get reminded of it. And so I printed it out for this family friend, and then I've been reading through it, and it's just eye-opening how much, you know, most people don't realize about digestion. And so basically, if you're just kind of hungry and you're just kind of like nibbling, or maybe you just crave something, we all know that, like, even if you're kind of full, like, you still kind of maybe want that last piece of pizza. And pizza actually is like a narcotic, like totally a narcotic. It's really hard to digest both breads and cheese and meat and all that stuff at the same time. And so cheese actually turns into a specific type of opiate. Let's see if I can remember. Caseomorphine. It's from the pasteurized casein in the milk that the cheese is made from. So it's much less, it's not really going to happen if you're eating raw cheese, but if you're eating pasteurized cheese, it's very likely that you're going to produce caseomorphine. And that happens when casein, which is an incredibly small molecule, after it goes through the pasteurization, it's actually not really small enough to get out on its own, but when it goes through the pasteurization process, it gets crushed into a liquid, and so it can seep out through any leaky gut issues that you have. And the average person has significant leaky gut issues in the modern world, and even if you don't have significant issues, most people still have a little bit. So anyways, without geeking out too much on that health aspect of it, I just wanted to point out that sometimes when we eat, it's not really because we're hungry. Sometimes we want the drug-like effect. And so with pizza, you get a double whammy. You get, if you're overeating pizza past the point where you can digest, and it's going to be seeping out into your system, or if you just have leaky gut at all, you're going to be getting a heavy dose of casomorphine, which is an opiate. Not at the level of heroin, but you know, morphine is nothing to joke about. And then gliadomorphine, excuse me, that's from the gliadin protein in the gluten containing bread. And so, those are two of the most studied, but there's a lot of stuff in food that's narcotic. And so a lot of the times when people call things comfort foods, they're not really comfort foods, they're just comfort drugs in the form of food. But anyways, my point being is that oftentimes we eat not because we're actually hungry, not because our body actually needs any nutrition at all, but just because something sounds good. And I know I was about to be guilty of that this morning. I slept at my favorite beach in Santa Barbara. Mia, let's go back to the car. I don't want to leave Keek this long. Let's go. Come on. You can do it. And come on. She likes it in the shade. Come on, girl. We have water in the car, and I can get you in the shade there too. Let's go, girl. Come on. Got to put the hat out. We're getting a lot of sun on my face today with all the driving and beach walks and stuff. Come on, Mia, you're a slowpoke. But yeah, it's just so epic here. But let me just finish that up real quick. So At the Appetite Cure, for those of you who haven't checked it out, you can just Google At the Appetite Cure by Mark Twain. And I'd be curious to know, I'm about to post this on YouTube, so comment below if it's something that resonated with you, if it's something that you think is kind of common knowledge already, that you already knew. But the point that I think a lot of people don't understand about this story is the differentiation between parasitic hunger or narcotic-induced hunger. And I don't mean like you smoked weed or did some drugs and got hungry. I just mean like, what I was saying before with the food. But like emotional eating is really how I should explain that. And parasite feeding is a lot of what goes on when people put food in their mouths in this country. And I've been guilty of that more so than ever in these last 7 or 8 months. I've been like really wanting to get back to my old strength. I used to be much more physically fit before the terrible drivers started slamming into my cars and fucking with my spine and skull and all that stuff, which thankfully is now healed up to the point where the only thing keeping me from playing sports is just me finding a place where I can do that. And also this year was like the year I was trying to bulk back up, because I've gotten pretty scrawny after all those accidents. All I've been able to do is like yoga for the last decade. But I used to be much stronger even in high school, which is kind of embarrassing to admit, but it's true. My spine wasn't as strong though, so I'm stoked on that. I got definitely tons of core strength from all the yoga and everything I've done. Tons of mental strength just from the resilience of undergoing trauma and then coming back. But actual strength wise, I'm just like still don't feel anywhere near like myself. I feel like a weakling. And so this year was the year I was supposed to get back into the gym, and I had a gym membership for I want to say 2 months before this whole hysteria came about. And obviously you guys know most gyms are closed right now. There's actually a gym in Woodland Hills that is open, and it's not that bad if you guys live in Woodland Hills area, and there's no other gym open. It's called The Zoo Culture. I came across it just randomly on YouTube. They were talking about some gym protest day, and I was like, oh, watch that. And so it's pretty cool. But on the video I watched on YouTube, I thought he said it was $15 entry, but it turned out it was $50 entry for one day. So he's don't let a good crisis go to waste, Bradley Martin, you son of a bitch. But I still respect the fuck out of you, and there's probably some reason there. Maybe you're saving up extra money just in case there's lawyer issues, or who knows, who cares. And I'm sure there's lots of people around this area that can afford it, and that's all good. I'm not paying $50 to pump some weights. I probably should be doing push-ups and stuff like that anyways for a while, because I haven't worked out at all in since the gym's closed, other than walking with the dogs and yard work and chopping wood and stuff like that. Mia, come here, this way. Come here. But yeah, I just want to share this with you guys. It's so epic. Like I said, 20 soccer fields, 4 basketball fields, people skating, bumping jams. It's just good vibes. I would be here all the time. And there's now batting cages. This place is just epic. Whoever designed this park, I hope I get to shake your hand one day. Just so epic. But yeah, I think I kind of digressed too. Mia, come here. So the appetite cure thing, just basically giving that to my friend and then reading it over again myself, it just kind of made me realize that I need to practice what I preach in that respect, and get off these couple extra pounds that have been hanging around my weight since this whole bullshit started. And that's from a combination of, like I said, I had been lifting weights for 2 months, and then the gym's closed. And it's tough to go from eating how you do when you work out to just back to your normal, because eating is enjoyable and fun. Mia, come here. Especially when you're super hungry and you need it, but then even afterwards, it's a habit that's hard to kick. But anyways, it's partially that, and then it's also like I think I was saying earlier, that it's a lot of my purchases were determined by not what was the healthiest, but what was the most likely to not tell me that I can't shop there or pick up food there without a demonic face covering. And so now that I know my rights and I can get food from wherever I want without having to capitulate to these dastardly ordinances that are completely unconstitutional, and I hope everyone is enforcing them, government gets sued like crazy. But yeah, it's been a beautiful last couple days. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place. This place is just so mentally stimulating for me. It's unreal. I'm about to put Mia in the car, turn on the AC, take my other set of keys so that I can get a little run in. I think I'm about to do a little jog on this grass. It's just so nice here. But yeah, so I haven't eaten at all today, and I'm not really hungry. I'm just, I ate last night. I ate dinner, and it was more just kind of because I wanted it. I definitely didn't need it, if I'm being honest. And so I'm still full from that. I'm not gonna eat today. I don't know if I'll eat tomorrow. I might fast I might try to break my fasting record, actually. I think the longest I fasted is 2.5 days. And you just feel phenomenal afterwards. Your whole body it's just, when you fast, people don't realize, but autophagy is so incredibly beneficial to our health. It's something that happens in deep sleep every night. If you get deep sleep, if you're one of the few that still get deep sleep in the modern world, it's something that happens every night as a cellular cleanup. Mia, come on, this way. Mia, come on. We still have a ways to go, you little panting slowpoke. She's trying to take diversions. It is so good here that I don't blame her. Now I'm blank. What was I even just saying? I don't even know if it matters, but it'll probably come to me. But yeah, look at this. Just kids riding around on razors. Mom's walking without masks. Mom's talking without masks. Just we gotta probably every once in a while when you see 99% of people not wearing a mask and there's just one person that is, it's just that's how it should be. It should just be a bunch of normal people, and then people wearing masks outing themselves as hey, I'm a problem. My thought process isn't working. When everyone's doing it, it's hard to know who's doing it for saving grandma or whatever bullshit they're trying to feed us, as if healthy people have ever once in history gotten somebody sick. It's so insane, it's not even funny. Mia, this way. Come on. The car's not far, girl. You can make it. She's having a hard time. She's been panting like crazy. We're just loving it here. But yeah, oh man. Note to self, raise your kids here or somewhere like this. This is just so epic. Mia, come on. And looking up Lake Forest, apparently there's 2 lakes. I asked a kid who lives in Irvine, which is literally 5 minutes from Lake Forest, if the lakes were swimmable, and he told me, I don't know. Like, what the fuck's the matter with you? I was like, oh, are you new here? He's like, no, I've lived here my whole life. He was like 30. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? You live 5 minutes away from a lake and you don't even know if it's swimmable? Like, I wanted to slap him, but, you know, whatever. He just didn't know. But, I guess some people just don't like the water. It's odd to me, but I would definitely know that. I think most people would know that. Living somewhere for a year, much less 30, but anyways. It looks like all their sports are open. Oh God, there's a 10-year-old wearing a mask. Her mom is probably just a terrible, terrible person, and her dad, to even allow that. Insanity. But yeah, I think that's all I'm gonna show today. I just wanna show you guys some epic stuff. Oh, look at that. Kids out here in the sun doing push-ups. That is just some vitamin D inducing fun. God bless them. Oh, how's it going, brother? That guy was a little scared. He pulled up his shirt when I got close. I don't know if that was for him or for me, but I did not appreciate it. Oh, we got another one. It's seriously though, it's like 1% of people out here. And Santa Barbara was actually, just real quick, was like worse in terms of people with masks than Santa Cruz. There's the majority of people. Mia, come on, I'm gonna feed you real food. Don't be doing that. No scrounging. She's eating like someone's old chocolate, like ice cream. Stop, Mia. No Oreos for you. What a nut. You see this little thing? You are a deviant, Mia. A deviant. But yeah, Santa Barbara was gross. It was, the city itself is just epic, but the people are so cucked there right now. It's just like, I don't even know. It was like 80% of people were wearing masks outside, just walking around in the beautiful sunshine, just masked. So beyond me. So here's the shoes that I left that I knew would be there. Actually, I did talk to some super dope dude who's starting up like a conglomeration of nonprofits, or so he says. I couldn't get the vibe if he was like a savant who basically just has acquired some sort of massive amounts of wealth and just kind of lives this like very interesting life, or if he just, I couldn't really get a vibe on him, but he seemed like he knew a lot of stuff. He knew his stuff about real estate and about his nonprofit plans. It sounded like were pretty amazing. But I had a really good conversation with him this morning, and at the end of it, he's like, "Oh, I forgot. I left my laptop at Starbucks." And he had a Starbucks coffee. It was probably like, I don't know, I want to say 1.5 miles from Starbucks down at the beach, and just left it. Like, that's just so nice to be able to be in a town where people are so happy and healthy and taken care of that theft is not something that people have to think about. And I know it's not a big deal to like leave Crocs and have them left there, but just in general, this place is just epic. But yeah, I'm gonna stop jocking this place. This is exactly what I needed, just inspiration. I've never felt, since I was like a kid playing at like maybe State Cup or something, have I been this inspired to just be like my best physical athletic self, because I know that translates into being better in every other way, especially when you're somebody like me who likes to use sports to get away from sobriety rather than drugs or smoking weed, ideally. And by drugs, I mean smoking weed. I've never done a drug other than weed, unless you count alcohol. But, oh, and that one time that I got dosed with mushrooms, but it was like the lightest dose ever. I didn't even really hallucinate. I just kind of enjoyed some visual stuff that they showed us afterwards. It was a good experience. Keeks tripping. I'm gonna put me away, but yeah, thanks for listening, and If you guys don't know what I'm referencing when I say I know my rights now, check out my video that's titled Know Your Rights, or check out the videos titled Protect Your Rights, a little shorter, and they'll give you a little bit of info. Mia, no, come here. She's trying to go into the shade. Come on, I'm gonna put you in the car, Mia, in the car. Let's go.